Hello, how you doing? This is the second FINK video, and it's going to be the first in a series of videos called Chevy Breakfast of Champions. I gotta break that down, because if not, I'm just gonna say, I don't know, Chevy Breakfast Champions of or something. I'm just gonna mess it up. So it's Chevy Breakfast of Champions. I really don't like the title, but it's okay. I drive a Chevy van that I very much love. But, you know, what are you going to say? My wife drives a Ford Mustang, so she loves it. But we're not going to get into that, are we? What was I going to say? Okay, I got to stay focused. Yeah, so this is the first in a 3-part series. And we're just going to jump right into it. What I am going to do, this is an original water decal. This is the graphic we're going to work with, the classic graphic. I hope that's not in reverse. I got to figure out how to do that, how to make that flip around. But I'm not going to get all too technical with all this. So this is the original, this is an original water decal right here, black and white version. And then this is the IMCO 4-color, full color decal. It's beautiful, and it is beautiful. And I'm going to do a reproduction of this, printed in fluorescent, a hand silk screened reproduction of it, a 16 by 20 reproduction of it, printed in fluorescent inks. I'm doing a whole series of them, and I am calling it IMCO Blacklight series. My goal is to have a series of these prints. This will be the 4th one or 3rd one in the series, of where, like when I set up, I live in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and in, oh my gosh, I think in August, it'll be 2021, there'll be the second annual Kentucky FINK reunion. So hopefully I'll have a blacklight booth set up, and they'll be on display there. Hopefully that's my goal, to have that set up. But we'll see. That's one good thing about this channel, is I'll document this whole process. That's what I'm hoping to. I'm not hoping. I am going to do with this, so you'll kind of be on board, and you'll kind of be able to follow, and actually almost participate with comments, and then you'll be able to see what's going on. All right, I'm going to get started. Well, I'm going to show you how I discovered this, or how what inspired me to do this. All right, right here, spread out across the kitchen, kind of spread out across the kitchen, and also in the kitchen is my little design studio here in my home. Is kind of like a visual timeline of how I discovered the IMCO Big Daddy Roth decals. All right, it started with this. If you watched the first video, I showed you how I became a FINK artist, and the first FINK I started printing with was this FINK right here, and this. So if you go over here, that's the first FINK. This is the first FINK that I printed right there. That's actually printed on a piece of wood. You can see I printed him for a little bit, but not very long. He, just, I don't know. He was good. He printed great, but it just, as time went along, I purchased this catalog. And in this catalog, and I just figured this out just a little bit ago, and I don't know how I got the copy. I'm sure I went to Kinko's and used their good copy machine, and I ended up getting a really good copy of this FINK right here. So I was able to get this FINK right here, and I printed him for a while, and that is that one right there I just used for some one-of-a-kind prints. That print right there actually never even made the cut. I was going to draw on top of that. It never did make any kind of print edition or anything. That's just my own personal copy. And that is just printed with a house paint. So the color, I really like that print, but it just, I don't know, I felt like it could have been better, if that makes sense. And then at that same time, you know, I had the catalog. I started collecting the ads, pulling images from the ads. Look at all this good Ed Newton artwork. Oh, so good. And these actually copy really, really good. But it's just depending. And of course, I love like all the good, like the way they copy, all the distress, all the good texture that these ads, all these good, you know, halftones, all this good Robert Williams artwork. I've used a lot of this texture in the like in my prints. That's where, and we'll talk about this in a minute. And that's where, you know, like all these lines, all these textures come from these ads. You know, in doing this and doing my research and purchasing images, I came across this right here. Now this is a copy of this right here. I'll show you. I came across this water decal. This was the big change right here. And this is it right here. This is my holy grail. I keep it right here so I can always look at it. I keep it like right there. I don't really move it. There's another one right there. I just keep it right there. I got a good copy. Anytime I need a copy of it for anything, I just reach right here. I keep it behind plastic. That's excellent. So this copied, so that water decal copied so good, and it still, you know, had some good texture around. Like, see all that good, just all that, just, you know, see, it's just like see the water decal still picks up a lot of good texture. See, I like that. That's what gives it like an authenticity. I can't say that word very well. And like even like this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Like you know, I want it to not be perfect. Like that's the whole thing. This thing's traveled since, you know, 1964, and it's been, you know, want some scruff. I want it to have a history to it. So that made this copy right here. It also made this one, but in the process, this print right here was before this one. And I was, you know, I like this, like, I really like this print. I do enjoy this print, but in the process, I felt like, and I was thinking about when I set up at a show, like what do I want my booth to look like? What do I want someone who walks in to see? I do want, you know, like this kind of the texture and the scruff and all that stuff, but I do almost want like something clean. And at that point I was thinking like, man, like I really like black light colors. And when I think of Rat Fink and Ed Big Daddy Roth, I was thinking like fluorescent bright colors. I was thinking about like when he would spray paint. I actually had a conversation with Ed Newton when he was here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, about when Ed Roth was spray painting actual t-shirts, and they were silk screening, you know, like they were just spray painting on top of the silk screen t-shirts. And man, it was just blew my mind. And it just opened up so many possibilities. Like when he was telling me these stories about him and Ed Roth and just and about Ed Roth, and just it's almost like I went back in time. And this was before I was, even moments before I knew about becoming a Rat Fink artist, before it was even a possibility. I was just thinking, oh man, I would have loved to have been there. And it's, man, this whole thing is just a dream come true. I mean, it's unreal to be able to have the opportunity to do this. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I wanted to just have a series of simple Rat Finks in bright colors. So immediately I bought a Speedball ink fluorescent green. So this story is going somewhere. So this is it, fluorescent ink. And this is more fluorescence, by Speedball. And then I started collecting some water decals. And in the process of collecting water decals, you know, if you're looking on eBay and you start, you know, start looking at stuff, you start seeing other like water decals, right? So in the process, I got this. I came across this other water decal, IMCO. Now I knew IMCO, but I didn't know IMCO. And this one came across, and I just loved I love the graphic. You know, it's nothing, it's definitely no Ed Roth by any means, but it was cool. Got a good deal on it. I mean, it's practically nothing. So I ordered it and got it in, and then I studied it, and I was just, being a printmaker, I was just fascinated by the printing, and I noticed that it was printed in like a 4-color process type printing. And if you're a printer, you know what that is. If you're not a printer, what it is first the blue is printed, right? And then the red is printed. And then the yellow is printed. So the yellow over the blue will make a green, but the yellow over the red makes an orange. So that's what happens here. And then the black's printed last. So, you know, it's a process. But then when that name popped up, then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, this popped up. And this is of course, you know, Ed Roth graphic, Brother Ratfink classic. And I already had this right here, Brother Ratfink. I love this right here. IMCO printed this Ed Roth graphic. All right, I had to take a break from it because this is where I get real excited. Okay, all this stuff kind of just happened all at once and all by accident almost. It's that much of a just, I don't believe in coincidences, but that's a whole nother story. But like it's just uncanny how it just all came together. So I knew that I had, okay, let me back up. So I have all these fluorescent inks, right? All right. So that process of printing like this is called CMYK, which stands for cyan, which is blue, magenta, yellow, and well, I always thought K, which meant black, which actually means key art, but it's also black. With the key art is the black ink. And I noticed that for some reason, Speedball makes a fluorescent magenta. And it just kind of dawned, and if they didn't make this ink, this never would have happened. It never would have happened because I never would have been like, well, this color scheme never would have happened because I was like, why would they make a fluorescent magenta? Like magenta to me that's the only reason is why you would make a magenta is for a 4-color process type situation. So I have my fluorescent blue, right? I have my fluorescent magenta, fluorescent yellow, and then the Speedball brand black, which is an incredible ink. So I had my formula. All I had to do was break this down. And see, I had my black artwork. So all I have to do is take this, copy it, blow it up, put it in a template, take this, break this down, make my color separations, and follow this formula to print, and that's all I have to do. And so that's what I did. And this is what I got. And it was a game changer, to say the least. And then go over here, Mr. Gasser, you know, I have the original black artwork decal, my IMCO to copy from, and I got this right here. So we're gonna go to the next, this is the next one we're gonna do. You know, original decal, IMCO sticker. This is this is where we're gonna start on this. This is, you know, I take this, I put it on my, this is pretty much all I work with. So I start with this, my original, you know, decal, I blow it up on a copy machine. I don't use any computers whatsoever. I use this copy machine, this decal. I have a template that I follow. I take this, I get my trusty X-Acto knife right here. I cut paper stencils. That's going to be the next video. I'm actually going to do the color separations, and that's yeah, that's it. These are eventually I'm going to get to these right here. Yeah, and hopefully I put these out here. I'm getting a little sidetracked. I put these out here. These are shipping decals that I do. My goal is I'm going to do a series of these blacklight series, and then eventually I'm going to, and these are like almost like tests. These are my shipping decals, so I can print smaller versions of these are printed in the same process, but this is kind of a mix between like this piece, this print here, and the IMCO prints. And eventually when I'm done with this series, I'm going to kind of go back and combine these two more, I don't want to say complicated prints. No, I don't make complicated prints just to be complicated. They kind of just evolved into that. I really like it's almost like I always think like my artwork, it's almost like I'm doing a documentary in one image. You know, this is like a documentary of an ad from like, it's like a documentary of that ad. So everything's taken from a certain ad, a certain source. But okay, all right. The next video, I'm gonna actually do the color separations. If this is the first video you've seen, the best place to kind of keep up with what's going on and projects I'm working on is to follow me on Instagram. If you look for Jim H. Madison, this is what my Instagram looks like. You can just, click on there and follow me. The band playing is El Astronauta. They are on Spotify. You could also send me a link. If you follow me on I guess you can send messages on YouTube, but the best place to get a hold of me is on Instagram again, and you can send me messages there. I'm going to be doing more videos on more in-depth on the processes. So if you're really into printing and want to know about like coating screens and shooting screens and the actual in-depth process, this is going to kind of just skim the process. But if you're into that, definitely want to subscribe, like, and subscribe and all that stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.